If you've been trying to figure out how to manifest a new house, well, stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to share with you the steps that I took to manifest my dream home. And be sure to watch the whole thing because I bet you've never thought of number 3. Hey, what's up friends? Thanks for tuning into the channel. I'm Heather and I'm just trying to keep it together. I'm a certified anxiety coach and hypnotherapist, and here on this channel I inspire moms to live well-balanced, stress-free, creative lives so they can be their whole authentic selves and create a life they love, all while raising amazing humans. Here on this channel we talk about wellness, personal growth, manifestation, and much, much more. So be sure to hit subscribe so that we can keep it together. Oh my gosh, so I don't know about you, but I have moved a lot. I have lived up and down the West Coast since I first moved out of my parents' house at, I was like just 18 years old, and I might have been 17. Yeah, I can't remember, but I moved out because I graduated high school early, and I moved down to San Diego. I lived in Ashland, Oregon, and it's called Oregon, people. And I have never felt very grounded. I have always really wanted a home, and I don't know, it's just, there's something about like owning your own place, and for me, it's really about the details. Like I'm excited to decorate and pick out the tile and do all the detailed things. Right now, as you might be able to tell, I am in my new home and it is a fixer-upper, but that was what I wanted. And I'll get into that later. But oh my gosh, trying to manifest this place was, anyway, we'll get into it. My number 1 tip that actually helped me manifest this house was loving where I was at. Love where you're at. I know you probably hear it a million times in manifestation rhetoric. Be grateful for what you have. Act as if it's already yours and blah, blah, blah. Like, go around pretending like you already live in the house you dream of or whatever. And yes, that's so true, but I just want to get into this a little bit deeper. And what I mean is, take a look around your place. For me, it was the yard. At my place that I was renting before buying this place, I just didn't really feel emotionally invested. I didn't hang up pictures, I didn't take care of the yard. I just knew, I had that like unsettled feeling. I just knew that like this wasn't where I wanted to be, and so I wasn't gonna bother making it a home. So I lived in a house before I moved into our home that we own, and that's where I really was like, okay, it was like, I knew it was gonna be short term. I just decided like, okay, I'm gonna hang out pictures this time. But I had never done that in any of the houses. I don't even know how many houses I've lived in since I was like 17 years old. Even as a kid, we moved a lot. And it's like, I just never fully invested my heart into it. And so just going around and clearing out anything that doesn't serve you. And also like, go and buy the thing that needs to fill the corner or whatever it is. Like sometimes I wouldn't buy furniture because I was just like, well, we're gonna move anyway, so I don't want to invest in anything. And so I'm not saying go out and buy like super fancy stuff, but there's definitely consignment and Craigslist and all the things to make your home feel homey and just loving the place that you're currently in and appreciating it. And I know for a fact that this worked because I remember there was a day where like my shrub was so crazy overgrown, the kids couldn't even walk on the sidewalk to catch the bus. They had to like walk on the street. I'm like the worst neighbor ever. And so I went out and I did like a ton of yard work, and I even hired a friend to help me like wash the house down, and we did tons of stuff. And right after that, we got the go to start looking at real estate in terms of like getting our funding and stuff. So I knew that really shifted the energy. My second tip is to reach for the next highest rung. Buying a house can be so big. It's like, oftentimes we think we won't be approved for a loan, or whatever. And the other thing I want to say is that in manifestation, we're often told, we can have whatever we want and reach for the stars and blah, blah, blah. And I think that that's so 1,000% true. But you are only able to manifest to the extent that your self-worth is expanded enough. And what I mean by that is that our mind is wired in a certain way to believe what reality we can create. So as you do this work on yourself and grow, you can expand yourself to believe what you can achieve. But if you're going from like a $30K salary and you want to manifest a $5 million home, but you subconsciously don't believe that that's possible, then it's going to be really frustrating for you. So the thing that I would say is that you have to really dig into your beliefs and understand where your next believable rung is on the ladder. I like to think of it as stretching to the point where it doesn't hurt too much, but not staying in your comfort zone. And the other thing that we forget is that sometimes the next level is what we have to go for, because there are lessons on that level. It's like you can think of life as a video game. It's like you can't go from level 5 to level 10. You have to go through the other levels and get good at that level. And there may be lessons along the way. You may need to learn how to budget your money better. You may need to learn to excel in your career or whatever, I don't know, or learn to love yourself. I mean, the most bizarre things that you would never expect. You see, for my manifestation, I knew that I always wanted to live next to the ocean, but in the woods. The first time I drove up the Northern California coast, I saw this as an actuality because it's heavily wooded and it's right by the ocean. And I think it's the best of both worlds. I knew it was something that I wanted. And so when I moved to Northern California, I knew that I wanted to buy a place here. I finally actually felt like I was grounded. I had a community that I was building. And as some of you might know, California real estate is some of the highest in the country. And so when it came time to finding a place, I knew that I wanted to stretch enough, but not so far that it would be too uncomfortable, you know what I mean? When we began to look at properties, we knew that we could stretch just enough to get a house here, but we knew that it would have to be a fixer-upper, which worked really well for me because I always knew that I wanted to buy a house that had to be fixed up because I knew that I was just gonna get the whole thing anyway. Even some of the most beautiful brand new houses, I'm so nitpicky about the tiniest things. I'm super detail oriented. I'm an artist. I like things to be beautiful. And I'm so excited to be able to remodel this house. The third tip I'll give you on manifesting the house of your dreams is to be ready to get tested. When we're reaching for something further out of our comfort zone, we're going to be tested to see if we're staying in self-worth. And we have to do all this rewiring in our brain about what our belief system is around what it is that we think or believe that we can have. Oftentimes, what is showing up that is activating you or triggering you is the areas where you really need to work and clear and unblock what it is that's getting in the way of your manifestation. Oftentimes, you might be triggered or activated in some way, and these are the areas where you really need to start unblocking. Whatever it is that's showing up is the area that you need the most work in. So in our particular situation, we found a place in the fall, and then we immediately put our house on the market as soon as we could. It took a little bit of time. We had some issues with tenants that we were renting that house that we sold. And so there was boundary issues and just a lot of tests were coming up. There was just also stuff around money, money mindset stuff that I needed to work through. And basically what I did was just every day I was just journaling, and I would just really try to get to the root of what it was that I was feeling activated or triggered by, even if it seemed like it was unrelated, which we'll talk about in number 5. And I just would journal every day, and it really helped to clear out whatever it was that I needed to make space for this manifestation to come through. But there were so many things that came up. We placed a bid, there was like multiple bids. Then we got the house, and then we found out there was an additional loan on the house for $22,000, more than the house was even worth. And so then we had to like wait for them to negotiate with the bank, and then we ended up paying like a little bit more, and finally ended up being able to close. But there was just like lots of roadblocks along the way and lots of tests, but really needing to just like lean in and trust, which leads me to number 4, learn to trust. And you hear this all the time in manifestation rhetoric, and it can be so frustrating because you're wondering when is my manifestation going to come, and how will I know that it's going to come? Am I doing the right things? Your head is just constantly trying to problem solve. And whether you trust in something bigger than yourself, bigger like God or the universe or whatever, what it really comes down to is learning how to embody trust. And that's what I have found works best for me. It's really about learning to access the feeling of safety and contentment in your body, physiologically experiencing the calmness of knowing that something that you want is already coming. As if, maybe you've heard this idea of, it's like ordering something from Amazon Prime. You've placed the order, you know it's on the way, now you can just sit back, chill, do something else that's fun. And that's exactly what you should do. Go do something else, go have fun. You've already placed your order, just trust and know that it's already on the way. Feel it in your body, go for walks, learn to relax. And my final tip, number 5, is to learn how to receive. This was one of my biggest breakthroughs. I'd always had a lot of guilt around receiving. If somebody was going to pay for my dinner, even when I would get paid for cleaning houses when I was a little kid, I had a little cleaning business, and I would just feel guilty about receiving all of the time, receiving compliments, receiving love. And this was a huge block for me, and I really had to do some inner child work and some shadow work around this in order to clear the energetic stagnation that wasn't allowing my manifestation of getting a house to come through. What I really found for me personally was that I wasn't receiving. I wasn't willing to receive. I was constantly deflecting anything that was coming my way. And it goes back to that trust thing. I really had to learn how to access the feeling of safety in my body so that I could feel comfortable with receiving and trust and know that what I desire is coming to me. So that is all the tips I have for you on manifesting a house. That's my personal experience. Comment down below, let me know. Have you ever manifested something really big like a house? What were the ways that you unblocked your energetic stagnation to have it come through much faster? I hope you really enjoyed today's video, and if you want more videos like this, please hit the like button as it really lets me know what kind of content you guys are enjoying, or just leave a comment down below as to what kind of content you're interested in around personal development, manifestation, spirituality, wellness, etc., etc. I'm happy to serve and excited to do it. So I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing.